Good evening. Welcome to Primetime News on TV1. I'm Thiruni Karunaratne. Here are tonight's top stories. Information from Bako Saman's associate leads to discovery of a pistol and drugs hidden in Middenia. Vimal Veeravansa summoned by Tangol police over statement on Beliatte Sana. Former President Mahinda hands over his bulletproof vehicle to the government. Security continues uninterrupted, says Public Security Minister. Public Utilities Commission to announce electricity tariff revisions within the next 2 weeks. Heavy rain and strong lightning hit several provinces, including the Western Province. Israeli airstrikes continue along the Gaza Strip, despite Trump's call to halt attacks under the peace plan. In our top story tonight, a suspect believed to have coordinated drug trafficking and contract killings in Sri Lanka on behalf of the underworld figure Bako Saman, who is currently in remand custody, has been arrested.
The suspect arrested has been identified as the husband of Bako Saman's sister. Police Special Task Force officers arrested the suspect and handed him over to the Western Province North Crimes Division. Police said that questioning of the suspect, identified as Kavisha, has begun under a 7-day detention order. During the interrogation, police recovered a pistol and a stock of narcotics hidden in Middenia. Investigations are ongoing into Kehelbadra Padme, Bako Saman, Tamiri Lahiru, Commando Salinta and Panandura Nilanga, who were arrested in Indonesia and are currently under detention orders. Probes into Bako Saman and his group linked to the ice drug trade uncovered a cache of white cubes and ice-mixed drugs that were buried. The stock, stored in 2 containers, had been hidden on a land owned by Pial and Sampath Manamperi, who were involved with SLPP. The Manamperi brothers are now in custody and investigations are continuing based on the information they provide.
Questioning has begun under a detention order for a suspect arrested in Horoputana in connection with the crystal methamphetamine or ice drug trafficking case.
Police say that the suspect was granted a 5-day detention order yesterday after being produced before the Kabitigo Lab magistrate. The suspect was found in possession of 410 milligrams of ice, which has been handed over to the police. The 55-year-old suspect who was arrested had contested the recent local government elections as a candidate of the Samagijana Balawegaya and is a resident of Mukkaravava, Anuradhapura.
The Sri Lanka police have carried out 61,265 ice raids so far this year, seizing 1,852 kilograms of the drug. In 52,693 heroin raids, the police managed to seize 1,248 kilograms of the drug. They have also seized 14,221 kilograms of cannabis, 506 kilograms of hashish and 29 kilograms of cocaine so far this year. Additionally, 3,579,339 drug tablets and pills have been confiscated to date.
Former Minister Vimal Veeravansa has been instructed to appear before the Tangol police the day after tomorrow. The summons relates to an inquiry concerning a statement that he made to the media about an individual named Beliatte Sana. He is required to appear at the Tangol police station at 10 a.m. on that day. Meanwhile, SLPP parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa says that he is not afraid of any challenge.
The ceremony to appoint divisional organisers of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna for the Kurunegala district was held today under the leadership of the party's national organiser Namal Rajapaksa.
After the Rajapaksas were targeted, I was also targeted, as was my coordination secretary, a person named Manamperi. I want to remind everyone that I appoint coordination secretaries only from this district. If anyone tries to attack from somewhere, the maximum action that can be taken under the law was carried out that day. We acted with complete trust in the judiciary. I also want to remind everyone that we are taking all possible legal action.
අපි නීතිය මගින් කටයුතු කරන්න හැම කරන්න ඕන හැම අවස්ථාවකම කටයුතු කරනවා කියන අපි මතක් කරන්න කැමතියි. හැබැයි අපි අභියෝග වලට බය නැහැ. අපි හැමදාම අභියෝගවලට ආදරය කරපු අය.
We are not afraid of challenges. We have always embraced challenges, and that is why, as a party, we have been able to face any challenge and move forward. The repression of this government is not limited to one group or a faction. Their motive is to dismantle the entire system, not change it. Our policy, built upon religion and morality, is aimed at building the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna as a political force for your children, the children of elders, and the youth for the future. I invite everyone to come together.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's media spokesperson, attorney Manoj Gamage, says that the former president has handed over his bulletproof vehicle to the government. The spokesperson says that this step was taken in accordance with the president's Entitlements Repeal Act.
ඊයේ දවසේ වන විට අප
As of yesterday, we have taken steps to hand over this bulletproof vehicle. In addition to the bulletproof vehicle, there was also a vehicle used to transport security officers. Arrangements have been made to hand over that vehicle as well. We know that currently there are no security vehicles available for officers to use. We are aware that it is not possible to travel in private vehicles while carrying firearms. Under such circumstances, the current situation poses a very serious security risk regarding the protection of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ ආරක්ෂාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඉතා බරපතල අවධානමක් මතුවලා තිබෙනවා.
Is enforcing the law against fraud and corruption an act of political revenge? This is Minister Anura Karunatilaka's response.
අපේ වැඩපිළිවෙල තියෙන්නේ
Our process is to punish thieves and the corrupt. If at the end of that process of punishing thieves and the corrupt, there happens to be a Rajapaksa involved, there's nothing we can do about it. If someone has committed a wrongdoing, they must be punished for that wrongdoing. However, we are not conducting investigations or any other actions with the specific intention of imprisoning members of the Rajapaksa family. In general, we have created an environment where investigating officers can act independently regarding financial and other crimes committed against the public and involving the misuse of public funds. If at the end of those investigations a Rajapaksa happens to be implicated, there already are several who are. Some are in remand custody, some are in prison, and others have been indicted. At some point in the process, another Rajapaksa could also end up in jail. That is not for me to decide. It is determined by the investigating officers and the judiciary.
Minister Bimal Ratnaik expressed his views while participating in a program in Vadamarachi, Jaffna today.
මිනිස්සු ඡන්දයෙන් පත් කරපු ආණ්ඩුව වෙච්ච ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂව ගහලා එළෙව්වා.
People chased away Gotabaya Rajapaksa even though he was elected. They drove out Mahinda Rajapaksa when he was Prime Minister and he went into hiding in Trincomalee. Ranil Wickremesinghe quietly became president. Did a single minister or MP visit the villages back then? The only good thing out of Ranil becoming president was that he acted as a security officer protecting the Rajapaksas. Many ministers and MPs who served in the north had the same problems as the Rajapaksas, Wickremesinghes and Premadasas. When a government takes office, relatives are often given appointments. Kehelia Rambukwala even offered poisonous pills disguised as cancer medicine. He tried to make his son the country's most popular cricketer. There was a newspaper contest and some journalists say he bought up papers and filled coupons himself. They made Namal captain of the rugby team and Yoshita a member. When they were losing, people were sent to beat up the other team and the trophy was presented by Namal's mother. The Varni region has suffered badly from drugs over the years, but we have now begun raiding production facilities and naming politicians involved. Ranil Wickremesinghe was remanded by a magistrate, not the Chief Justice. There's a rumour that Ranil went to court on a Friday and some lawyers advised him not to go, warning that if he was remanded, he would have to stay over the weekend. But he went anyway, believing the law would not be applied against him. A magistrate with courage remanded a former executive president. It shows an independent judiciary has been built. Will thieves regain power? Will Namal Rajapaksa be president in 2029? A small island is allocated to him near Iceland. Will Sajid Premadasa become president? He's barely holding party leadership. They look for our mistakes when they speak, so we thought we would leave a few for them to find.
හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කතා කරනකොට මොකද? ඒගොල්ලෝ දැන් අපේ ව්‍යාකරණ දෝෂ තමයි හොයන්නේ. අපි හිතුව එකක් දෙකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ වැඩ නැති වෙනවනේ.
Newsfirst with the people.
Chairman of the Committee on Public Enterprises, Dr. Nishanta Samaravira, says that heads of state-owned enterprises must take action to ensure that the objectives of their institutions are fully realized.
A total of 457 state institutions are subject to inquiries by the Committee on Public Enterprises. Recently, a workshop was organized at the Parliamentary Complex for the heads of these institutions to brief them on COP's responsibilities and matters related to the operations of state-owned enterprises. Acting Auditor General G.H.D. Dharmapala and other officials also participated in the session.
Many state-owned enterprises included in our SOE set have been subject to various opinions, yet we rarely encounter them at the COPE committee. Those that do appear come occasionally. In reality, some institutions have obligations dating back to around 2010 that should have been addressed earlier. Some institutions have not appeared at all. Currently, we have 457 institutions under our review. Now that I have taken charge of this process, we will conduct a very thorough study rather than simply wait. This study is not merely about identifying errors. It is about understanding where, how and why failures occurred within the system. The state enterprise system has been built with the aim of carrying out essential functions necessary for the existence of society while minimizing the burden on the public. However, in practice, it has become a burden. We have a special responsibility to ensure the proper functioning of the institutions under the two groups assigned to us. This state enterprise system has been established under specific laws or written statutes. For all 122 institutions present here, there are written documents assigning authority over the tasks that each head must perform. It is important to remember that all these provisions exist under the Constitution. Some institutions argue that even the Deputy Secretary or Secretary of the Ministry has no authority over them. No greater powers are granted beyond these provisions. If an institution has been established either under a law or written statute, the expectations of the institution and the purpose for which it was created are clearly defined. The duties required to fulfill this purpose are explicitly listed in regulations. However, this does not mean one can exercise powers beyond what the law provides. Many institutions behave as if we do not examine them. Some institutions come only after prior discussions, submit their inquiries and leave. It ends there. Even after discussions, there are always public questions about accountability. Some institutions do not follow the duties outlined in the law or statutory provisions. They do not act according to the responsibilities assigned. Some institutions misinterpret existing provisions either intentionally or based on their own understanding. This is the observation we receive through audits. Auditing involves inspecting these places. For instance, under the land reform law, there is a provision to establish a financial fund for employees stationed there, as well as to provide welfare and recreational facilities, housing, hostels and other land allotments. However, what they actually do is provide each employee with a plot valued at only 1,000 rupees. Why is the law being misinterpreted in this manner? We must emphasize that action should be taken strictly within the limits of the authority provided. Therefore, we must ask precise questions. If the power you exercise comes from statute, how did you perform duties beyond it? Who gave you that power? Who issued the orders? Often many people simply remain silent.
ඒ පනතට එපිටින් කරන කාර්යය කොහොමද ඔබ කරේ? කවුද ඔබට බලය දුන්නේ? කවුද ඔබට නියෝග කළේ? එතකොට ගොඩක් අය කරන්නේ කට වහගෙන ඉන්නවා.
The primary factor contributing to the country's financial collapse is the lack of financial discipline. Misuse of public funds, including within ministries and other public institutions as well as state-owned enterprises, has been a major contributing factor. The Committee on Public Enterprises ensures that financial discipline is maintained in state enterprises through audits and oversight. Furthermore, the recently approved National Audit Amendment Bill has further strengthened the National Audit Officer's role in preventing financial misuse. This supervisory committee operates with greater authority and independence to ensure effective oversight.
Meanwhile, it was revealed at the Committee on Public Finance that Sri Lanka has secured foreign loans amounting to $37 billion. Officials from the Public Debt Management Office disclosed this while responding to a query from the committee chairman, parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva. It was further revealed that 19.6 trillion rupees of loans are also due for repayment. Now, over 1.7 million foreign tourists have arrived in Sri Lanka so far this year. In the past month alone, a total of 158,971 tourists arrived in the country.
According to data from Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, a total of 1,725,494 foreign tourists have arrived in the country between January and the 30th of September this year. In 2024, 2,053,465 tourists visited Sri Lanka. During the past month alone, 158,971 tourists arrived in the island. Of them, 31.3%, a total of 49,697 tourists, were from India, while 10,527 tourists, accounting for 6.8%, arrived from the United Kingdom. Over 10,000 tourists also arrived from China last month. So far this year, the majority of visitors have come from India, totaling 375,292. In addition, over 100,000 tourists each have arrived from the United Kingdom, Russia, Germany and China. Meanwhile, a Tourism Day celebration was held in Beruwala today, aiming to promote the tourism industry. The event was attended by Western Province Governor Hanif Yusuf, Member of Parliament Chandima Hettiarachchi and several others.
There are two easiest ways to develop our country's economy. One is through our ports and the other is through tourism. When tourists come to Colombo, they should stay, not just a day, but 3 days. There's so much to do, from bungee jumping to developing our museums. We are planning to transform the Colombo city of art, music and culture into something remarkable.
Music and culture.
A subcommittee has been established for the tourism industry and responsibility for it has now been handed over to us. We aim to build our tourism based on our culture, natural beauty and hospitality. The warmth and friendliness with which we greet visitors, our smiles, our open hearts and our generosity. This is our theme and definite goal. We hope to implement numerous initiatives to make this sector a key path to bring economic benefits to our nation and to the people who are struggling for a better life.
The Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government says that this year's budget will address salary disparities for certain groups of public servants. Minister of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government, Dr. Chandana Abhiratna said that a further portion of the salary increments for public servants announced in the previous budget is planned to be paid in this year's budget. The minister also noted that an accelerated program is underway to eliminate salary disparities within the public service. The second reading of the 2026 budget, or the budget speech, is scheduled to be presented to Parliament by President Anurukumara Dissanayake in his capacity as the Minister of Finance on the 7th of November. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that education should undergo transformative changes so that it does not become a source of pressure for teachers, students or parents.
A program to inform teachers about the new education reforms was held at the Matale District Secretariat. The event was presided over by Minister of Education, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya.
තවදුරටත් අධ්‍යාපනය කියන්නේ නිකන් අර දැනුම දෙන තැන් බවට විතරක්පත් නොවි
Education should no longer be merely a place to impart knowledge. In reality, we must nurture children who can live within this complex society, engage with it, provide leadership and confront the crises and challenges that arise, taking responsibility and moving forward. It is especially important to reduce the burden on parents, families, teachers and principals regarding education in society. This is not meant to be a source of difficulty, weight or pressure. Instead, it should be a space that brings joy to all of us as we collectively move forward. We start this journey with this vision in mind. Therefore, this is not just a short-term initiative to change the curriculum. We have embarked on a transformative, long-term journey to fundamentally reform this system. Even in a country that has faced what was once considered impossible within our region amidst many crises and political instability, the country is now moving forward with some stability. We believe this is the opportunity to undertake this work. Now is your chance to write a new chapter in education history. Take this opportunity and make it your own.
අන්න ඒ අවස්ථාව බාර ගන්න.
Issuing an advisory for severe lightning, the Department of Meteorology says that thunder showers accompanied with severe lightning are likely to occur in the northern, north central, eastern, Uva provinces and in the Kurunegala and Matale districts.
The Met Department advises the general public to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in north central, Sabaragamu, central, Uva and eastern provinces. The general public is advised to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by heavy rain, strong winds and strong lightning during thunder showers. Roads in several areas, including Halyala, were submerged due to heavy rainfall experienced in Badulla this evening.
The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka has stated that a decision regarding electricity tariff revisions will be announced within the next 2 weeks. Its Director of Communications, Jayanath Herath, says that the public consultation on this matter will commence on the 8th of October. Public consultation in the Western Province will take place on the 8th of October. The Ceylon Electricity Board has proposed an increase of 6.8% in electricity tariffs.
The third workshop of the Pyramid Wilma Chef's Hunt program was held in Badulla today. The workshop is organized jointly by Newsfirst and Pyramid Wilma with collaboration from the Chefs Guild of Lanka and the National Apprentice and Industrial Training Authority. This program is aimed at young men and women aged 18 to 25 who aspire to become professional chefs in the future. The workshop includes both practical training and a written examination.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposits. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability. A trusted place for your fixed deposits. Valuable FD, 10.25% for 15 months, 11% for 24 months. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
The Expo Lanka Toastmasters Club welcomed its new executive committee yesterday.
The Expo Lanka Toastmasters Club held its 14th installation ceremony in Colombo yesterday. The incoming executive committee for the years 2025 and 2026 were welcomed at the ceremony.
But what we can do to transform, and I believe that it can get frustrated, flustered, angry, this and all. No need, it takes time. It takes time. Because can it be done? Yes, it takes time. Everybody is impatient, everybody wants quick results, like instant gratification. Everybody wants to do fast life we live in. Everything is instant and all that. They want the instant government, Why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? Why can't do that? Why can't? Everybody wants to know why you can't do it. It doesn't join the government. It stays outside. I've got inside the thing. Now I'm wondering what happened. The only way we can take this country to the next level is paying investments. And that's a priority. But as a governor of the Western Province, that's not my real role. My real role is what? Is to find out how the province can function, which is 44% of the GDP, 6.7 million population, smallest province but the heartbeat of the nation.
The ceremony marked a new chapter for the club, with the incoming committee ready to inspire, guide and transform ideas into action.
The Faculty of Management and Finance at the University of Colombo hosted an enterprise-based project showcasing the creativity and entrepreneurial skills of its students.
An enterprise-based project organized by the Faculty of Management and Finance at the University of Colombo was held today. Over 60 innovative stalls were set up by the students, presenting products that have the potential to enter the market. Visitors had the chance to explore a variety of business ideas. The Dean of the Faculty of Management and Finance, Professor Nihal Hennayaka, attended the event and praised the students for their innovative concepts and hard work. The event also recognized outstanding student projects, awarding prizes for the most innovative business product, the best demonstration, and the best overall stall.
On to news overseas, the Israel Defense Forces says it is preparing for the implementation of Phase 1 of the new peace deal, but may still need a rapid response to neutralize any threat. US President Donald Trump, meanwhile, says he believes Hamas is ready for a lasting peace, while urging Israel to stop the quote-unquote bombing of Gaza. But in the early hours, 3 airstrikes hit the Strip.
Negotiations for a deal between Israel and Hamas are expected to resume in Egypt in the coming days after the group agreed to release all remaining hostages, but said it wanted further talks on other issues. Hamas was under mounting pressure to accept at least some points of Trump's plan for Gaza, and this is exactly what they've done. But key sticking points remain, including the group's disarmament, a timeline for the Israeli withdrawal, and guarantees that Israel will not resume the war after the hostages are freed. Hussein al-Sheikh, vice president of the Palestinian Authority, says he welcomes Trump's announcement of the cessation of the war and the positive statements of Hamas. The Israeli military warned Palestinians that the area north of Wadi Gaza remains a dangerous combat zone. In Gaza City, there have been fresh airstrikes despite Trump's call for Israel to stop bombing the territory. The Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza says at least 66 people were killed by Israeli aggression in the last 24 hours, raising the death toll in the Strip since 7th of October to 67,074. The Hamas-run health ministry says another 265 injured people have arrived at hospitals in the Gaza Strip in the same time frame. The 20-point peace plan states that all remaining 48 hostages, of which 20 are believed to still be alive, will be released by Hamas within 72 hours of the agreement being accepted.
Japan's ruling party picked conservative nationalist Sane Takaichi as its new head, putting her on course to become the country's first female prime minister.
Takaichi is among the more conservative candidates leaning to the party's right. The Liberal Democratic Party elected Takaichi, who is 64, to regain trust from a public angered by rising prices and drawn to opposition groups promising big stimulus and clampdowns on foreigners. She defeated Shinjiro Koizumi, who is 44, in a face-off vote after a first round of voting of 5 candidates did not produce an outright winner. She received 185 votes ahead of Koizumi's 156 in the face-off election. She faces many challenges, including uniting a struggling ruling party after a turbulent few years which saw it rocked by scandals and internal conflicts. She also has to contend with a sluggish economy and Japanese households struggling with relentless inflation and stagnant wages. If confirmed, she will also have to navigate a rocky US-Japan relationship and see through the tariff deal with the Trump administration agreed by the previous government. Last month, Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, whose term lasted just over a year, announced he would step down after a series of election defeats that saw the Liberal Democratic Party's governing coalition lose its majority in both chambers of parliament. A vote in parliament to choose a prime minister to replace Shigeru Ishiba is expected to be held on the 15th of October.
The 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup match between Sri Lanka and Australia was abandoned today. The game, scheduled to be held at the R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium in Colombo, was disrupted due to heavy rain.
The toss for today's match was scheduled for 2:30 p.m, but heavy rain prevented it from taking place. After a delay of around 2 hours, the umpires decided to abandon the match. Meanwhile, the highly anticipated clash between Pakistan and India will take place tomorrow at Colombo's R. Premadasa Stadium. A standout feature of this tournament is that all matches at the R. Premadasa Stadium are free for local cricket fans to attend. The official local broadcast rights belong to the Sirasa Media Network, with all matches being broadcast live on TV1 and streamed online at www.sirasatv.lk.
Former Sri Lanka cricket captain Aravinda de Silva participated as the chief guest at a softball cricket tournament held in the Ampara district.
The sports clubs from Tirukkovil and Potuvil areas in the Ampata district came together for the softball cricket tournament. The tournament, which spanned approximately 14 days, featured participation from 44 teams. Matches were held at the Potuvil Urani ground. Emerging victorious in the tournament by defeating Thandiadi Superhits Sports Club, the championship was claimed by the Potuvil Alraj Sports Club. Following the final, former Sri Lanka cricket captain Aravinda De Silva shared his views.
Now I watched the match. Opportunities like that are usually available only to those in Colombo. More activities like this need to come to these areas. More sports should be encouraged. The talents these youngsters have can be nurtured for the future. Players like Sanat Jasure, Lasit Malinga and Muttaya Muralidharan, if given opportunities, the talent in these regions can progress. I think in every aspect these players have a lot more potential compared to players in Colombo. I believe organising such events in these districts is a very good initiative.
The latest edition of Sirasa Dancing Star is currently captivating audiences with the 4th season of performances featuring the vibrant energy of youthful dance. This season the show is showcasing Shri Pop music, giving contestants a fresh and dynamic backdrop for their routines.
දැටිය මැද්දේ කලු කරාපු පහන් තිරේ මැදට ආපු අනුමතත් පුදුම හිතෙනවා.
Bring in songs that are close to our hearts, performed in a style uniquely our own. Shri Pop adds a modern pulse to the performances, creating a new voice for the youth. This is indeed the sound of a new generation. Already trending across social media platforms, including TikTok, Shri Pop has won the hearts of fans in the hundreds of thousands. Audiences now have the opportunity to enjoy a delightful fusion of Sri Lankan music and dance as contestants bring their passion and rhythm to the stage.
And I'm so proud.
With Sirasa Dancing Star and Shri Pop together, viewers are invited to experience a truly unique and exhilarating showcase of music and movement, an experience not to be missed.
Sirasa Dancing Star, Shri Pop, Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
The Asupinialla in Kegol is a stunning natural wonder that captivates eyes with its breathtaking beauty. We leave you tonight with our beautiful Sri Lanka segment with more insights about this remarkable sight. Good night. Tucked away in the lush hills of Aranayaka, Kegol, the Asupinialla is a breathtaking masterpiece of nature. Cascading gracefully from a height of over 100 meters, this enchanting waterfall never fails to leave visitors in awe. Fed by the gentle waters of the Ma'oya, which begins its journey from Dolosbage, Asupinialla flows through whispers of folklore and legend, each drop carrying tales passed down through generations. It is a place of beauty, mystery and serenity, yet one that calls for care and caution when you visit.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.